Whack hard.
Yeah,
Kingdom
yeah.
Yomi no Kuni. He steps forward to play hard. Up in
Yeah,
the spirit.
yeah.
Whack on whack.
This story's all about me. This story's is about my legacy and how I did it. Never quit it. Got my team behind me. Everybody. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Black On, and today we're gonna talk about what's your favorite platform. And if you're interested in it, this will actually have a free $25 gift card that comes with it. It will be after the next week where I will tally up everybody who posted a comment and everything like that as well. So, like I said, give your honest comments and everything like that. But a majority of the time, I have so many favorite different platforms, and I could give you the reason why. Like in the early 2000s, I fell in love with the PlayStation 2. I fell in love with the Dreamcast way before the PlayStation 2. Like my thing, like my ish was the Dreamcast. I did not have a lot of games on it. I remember simply playing Phantasy Star Online, Zombie Revenge, sitting down playing like multiple games that my friends had, replaying Soul Reaver on there as well. And it was just something about it. And it was also my first ever experience of Sonic the Adventure 2, Power Stone, Shenmue. Like, it's just so many games. And even to this day, I love Dreamcast. But I also have always had a love for Nintendo, for Super Mario, Donkey Kong, all of just the originals, like the Legend of Zelda series, Metroid Prime, all of those. And I've always been fascinated with all of these different platforms. So for me, honestly, I don't have a different platform I can truly call my favorite because I use so many different platforms even today. A couple few years ago, you couldn't even consider calling a cell phone a platform device for mobile gaming. You really couldn't. The only thing I'll say in the not the early 90s, but the late 90s, all you could really get on your mobile device was Snake. It probably was probably like two or three other games that were on cell phones at that time, basically because they didn't have the power that a cell phone has today, in which is a mini computer inside your pocket. And the simple fact that you can connect it to Wi-Fi and carry it anywhere you go. You can do full reports on it. You can type out essays on it. I've seen all of this, and I just think that it's fascinating that I use my phone more for mobile gaming than anything else. I actually base my channel a lot on mobile gaming, not just mobile gaming, but all gaming. Like playing my PS4. The only reason why I don't do any Nintendo games is because I don't want Nintendo to come in and hit me with a YouTube strike. Now, I've had it happen before, and that's the reason why I took down, or didn't take down, but stopped playing Mario Run. I really wanted to play Mario Run. I loved the game. The game was really awesome, and this is when it first came out. But sadly enough, I couldn't do that basically because of the strikes. All of that pushed to the side, I truly do love like Sony. Sony has always been my main person I would go to since PlayStation 1. The PS2 came out, then the Onimusha series came out. I know a lot of you guys probably remember the Onimusha series of I'm talking about all of them came out on that exact system on the PlayStation 2. That you had 1, 2, 3, you got Onimusha 4, Dawn of Dreams. All of those games were astonishing for the graphics that they had. They were astonishing for the actual combat system they had. The storyline for every single game was good. They came out with a mini fighting game that was similar to Smash Bros, but kind of had its own mechanics, slightly like Power Stone. It was so many different things that really made that game stand out on its own that I have to say it was one of my favorite games of all times on the PS2 platform. and even to this day, like I still actually have the collection of Onimusha to 1 to 3, and looking around for 4. But my thing is, I'm a huge fan of the Onimusha series, and I always loved it. Like I said, when it comes to Dreamcast, I'm a huge fan of the Shenmue series. I'm a huge fan of the Zombie Revenge series. I'm a huge fan of House of the Dead. I'm a huge fan of Power Stone. Love those games. Then you have the PS3, where I was more of a huge fan of Metal Gear Solid on that one. Well, I take that back. I was a huge fan of Metal Gear Solid on PlayStation 1 all the way to the PS3, because the last game I played was Phantom Pain, and I played the PS3 version, enjoyed it, loved playing online, everything about it. Just was a great game overall. It had its little ups and downs, but it still was good. Storyline could have been did better. I didn't like the twist they did towards you when you actually complete the game. But besides that, it was a really good game. Deep, emotional, could mess with your emotions, all of that type of stuff. The 360 I really didn't have that many. I liked the 360, but really did not have that many games on there that I actually could call its own, because the only way I could think of it is that PlayStation took that limelight, because I remember actually sitting down and playing Mass Effect on the PS3 before actually playing it on the Xbox 360. So, that's all out the window on that part. I'm trying to legitly think, was there a game I enjoyed on the 360? I can't think of any at this moment, so I really honestly guess Xbox 360 wasn't one. I remember the Fatal Frame series. I actually did play that on, well, I played one of them on the very first one on Xbox, and I played the second one on Xbox as well. And like I said, these are the original Xbox, the OG Xbox. Until this day, I love the OG Xbox because I love Phantom Dust. I love it's a dragon game. I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's a dragon game where you fly around and you shoot enemies out the sky. You riding on the dragon. It was so many different things are the reasons why I loved Xbox One. It was similar to Dreamcast in so many ways, and I think that was my main reason I was hooked to it. But 360, I really wasn't that much. So I would guess I would have to say my favorite consoles would be like the Super Nintendo, GameCube. There was a few games on GameCube that I actually played, like SNK, Capcom versus SNK. I remember playing X-Men Next Dimension on there, even though the power moves or special moves on X-Men Next Dimension were more OP on the PlayStation 2 version. For some weird reason, I always loved it more on the GameCube. I don't know why, I just did. I really loved it on the GameCube. I'm trying to think of other ones. Metroid Prime. Every Metroid Prime that came out on GameCube at that time. Killer 7. Loved it. Actually still have a copy of it thanks to my old associate of mine's. I'm trying to think what else. It's just so many games that I actually liked on the GameCube. There's a lot of games I also did not like. I want to say I actually really enjoyed. What's the guy's name? You go Shin Shin the Go Go baby. He had the whole V thing going on. He wore the red suit. He was also like this movie geek nerd, and he would transform into this awesome character. But he was part of Capcom. It was just so many games that I enjoyed on the GameCube. Just like I said, it being Nintendo and all. The Wii U, not so much. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, when it came to mobile games, there's still so many games coming out today I want to try. So many games I've heard of, rumors and stuff like that. And I'm trying to figure out rumors about the Dark Souls, the new Bleach game that's coming out, and they look fascinating. I've seen video of them. I'll probably end up doing an actual video on the video of both of those, basically because I'm trying to figure out, are they legit? They're open world games and they're really set up nicely in the combo settings, and just the mechanics of the game itself are awesome, and it has me looking forward to actually playing these games. I know another thing that is really awesome, besides that, if I can take a second to go back, is, like I said, I love the OG Xbox. I play so many games on it. But do you guys remember this one game? And I want to say it was this was like PlayStation. This is PlayStation 1 where I played it on, because it played better on PlayStation 1. Fighting Force. Huge fan of Fighting Force. I loved that it was 2 players. Me and my brother would play the game for like hours on end of just simply sitting down and trying to play it all the way through just to get to the main bad guy, who is this evil kung fu master. And it didn't even need a storyline. Like, it really did not. And then they came out with Fighting Force 2. But Fighting Force 2 wasn't like Fighting Force 1, so it pretty much like sucked to me. So I just hated Fighting Force 2. And then you had Siphon Filter. I know a lot of you guys probably, either if you're game heads, you remember Siphon Filter. And it was like every single one that came out, I had to like play. One way or another, I had to play it. I didn't care if it was a demo, I had to play it. Need for Speed, of course, it was on everybody's list when it was on PlayStation 1. I even went back because I had nostalgia, where I started collecting old school games again. And I replayed Parasite Eve. I know a lot of you guys probably either know about Parasite Eve or heard of Parasite Eve, but it was a horror game that was kind of based similar to Resident Evil. Except the character you had actually had abilities, like power abilities and stuff like that. She could focus energy into her weapon and shoot it off like a beam cannon. The second game was actually astonishing, basically, because it did something that I wasn't used to in video gaming, definitely on PlayStation, where you saw damage on a character. Like, and it wasn't even damage like towards you, like your character wouldn't get damaged up, but like when you would shoot one of these mutated monsters, and you would see the actual hole print of where you blew a hole in a man. Like, that was something that was really breathtaking to me. Just like even on 64, seeing the chest go up and down on a character was insane. And it's crazy that gaming has become all of these different platforms. You've got Sony out there. You have, like I said, Dreamcast is dead. We're not bringing that up. But you have Sony, you have Xbox, you have mobile gaming, you have Nintendo, you have different other platforms that have come out in which they have failed, but they have tried it. They tried to do it. Where I think it was called the Riku or Rico, where it came out and you plug it up to your TV. It's this small box that you plug up to your TV, and you literally you pick out the selection of games that they have on there. The library was supposed to constantly grow. You're supposed to be able to update it with the updates they had and all of that, and which was set up very, very nicely. You had other things that were how they were set up that was different. It would, like, to me, I thought that it was going to be pretty cool. I didn't think that it was going anywhere, but I thought it was pretty cool because it was something different that gamers and gaming was doing. And then I kind of started looking at it, and next thing I know, I was like, I'm going to get one. And just about the time I got it, they went bankrupt. The company of it went bankrupt, and they no longer sold that game or sold that system because the system wasn't useful at all. They ended up shutting down all of the networks. Then I know recently, probably 2 years ago, I heard someone else bought the company out. So hopefully they goes back up and they're able to do whatever they need, whatever they need to do, honestly, on that. I know, like I said before, I've always been a huge fan of handheld systems. Like I said, Nintendo has dominated in that. Like even today, Nintendo is killing with the 3DS. They got the new 3DS. It's so many different games that they have for so many different variety of people. Like the Monster Hunter series. You got your action, your action adventure game where you're going around hunting monsters. I'm truly have never been in the Monster Hunter fan base. I remember a friend told me this and I fell for it, where it was simply fact, like it was like, oh man, it's just like playing Phantasy Star Online, the one that came out on Xbox, not Xbox, but the one that came out on Dreamcast and also GameCube. So I'm hyped. I'm like, oh crap, that's the one I like. That's the one I've always been a huge fan of. That first Phantasy Star that came out on Dreamcast and then was imported to GameCube. That's always been one of my favorite Phantasy Star Onlines. I, till this day, couldn't tell you the reason why. I think it's just honestly because it was the first of its type. And I remembered one cool thing that I was able to do was I had a issue with a character. Like I don't know if it was like he got corrupted or what. But I remember having my brother play with me, and I transported these little floaty things will float with you. They have different abilities. I ended up giving that one to the new character. Didn't even know I could do it. I was just trying something and found out that I could do that. And when I deleted that character was no more, but the memory of the character was pretty much of that little floating robot that floats on the side of your shoulder. And I thought that was so awesome that you could even do something like that and still delete the character without it interfering with the data of the character that you're now playing with. It's just so many different things that I'm really passionate for when it comes to gaming. And like I think one of the main reasons I am so passionate about gaming is the stress in your day-to-day life. Let it be about family or your job or finances just coming out of nowhere that you owe somebody. Uncle Sam has his hand out every single month but never helps you get what you need, but yet he has his hand out all the time for the job that you worked your tail off for and you worked your ass off to get. But yet Uncle Sam always has his hand out ready to take your money. The simple fact that video games can push me away from that just for a few hours and put me in a completely different zone. I'm very thankful for the video games I grew up with, like Killer Instinct and the original Killer Instinct, not the new one. I do not honestly care for the new one. If you want to take me on, we can always hop on that Super Nintendo and we can go at it with the original Killer Instinct. Never been a huge fan of the new Killer Instinct, nor do I honestly care about it. That's just my opinion and that's how I feel about it. But just the simple fact that I can be put into whatever world I choose to pick, let it be a 2D game, to a 3D game, to an open world game, to just an open world RPG, and go on those adventures that someone has taken their time to actually make an awesome game and push it out so the world can see it. I appreciate the gaming developers for that so much. And I appreciate the gaming communities that are around that actually post up forums to help out people who are struggling on a certain part of the game or YouTube of the different fans who figured something out and uploaded it. All of that, like, it's just it feels awesome to be a gamer. Definitely to be alive as a gamer in this time is the best time ever. Like, yeah, we do get a lot of flack for somebody going off the loose end and they play video games. That's a true thing. But for the most part, gaming has done a lot for people. I had a friend so many years ago who actually could not read, and he couldn't read all the way until I'll say his mid-teens, like around 15. And he started to get into video gaming, and what we would do is get him into a lot of like quiet games that really didn't talk. You have to kind of read to understand what was going on and what you needed to do. And so he took his time more playing those games because they were more interesting to him, and they had a better, fun outlook, I guess, to him. So he continued to play the game, and got better at reading. And his mom noticed that he was reading on a higher level basically because of video gaming. You had it, I think, about 2 or 3 years ago. People figure out, I think, the proteins of cancer or something like that, how to break it down from, and these were gamers, mind you, because it was set up as a game. They figured out something that scientists were trying to figure out for the past 15 years. And they found it out in literally a few days. I think it was like 2 or 3 days they found out. So I always think that it's cool that people do stuff like this and make it a different source or open source for something, and it changes up the whole game. Like, I just think that that's awesome, that being a gamer is not looked down upon how it was so many years ago. Yeah, you still have people out there with that mindset of, oh, you play games, but it's not many. And I like the fact that women now play more games just as much as guys do. I think that's awesome to see somebody in a fighting tournament and the girl is kicking my ass. Like, it's so many different reasons why that's awesome. Because so many years ago, when you went to a convention, it was an all guy thing. Now it's a mixture of people. But I'm not talking about anime conventions, because I'm going to get into that, and I have a whole different feeling of anime conventions than I did years ago. That'll be for another video. I probably will do that one next. But for the simple fact that gaming has come so far, all the way from the early, I want to say 80s to now, is outstanding. Even probably the 70s, honestly, to now is outstanding. And the simple fact that so many things go on that have helped people. I'm talking about video games even have helped people who had rage issues, people who suffer from depression. There's so many different studies of video games helping people. Why shouldn't it be something therapeutic? Like, honestly, for people, they have a hotel based off PC gaming alone now. And I think it's like $192 a night or something like that. So it's pretty good that it's so many things that revolve around gaming alone. I honestly am just happy and hype about a lot of these things, and I just want you guys to take a moment to suck all of this in and absorb what's happening and what's continuing to happen around video games all day, every day. That's all I pretty much have to say. This is your boy. This podcast is pretty long. If you stay with me, continue to let me know what your favorite video game was, or what's your favorite console system, or if you have a majority of them, and let me know the reason why. I'll also post that in the upcoming week's video as well. This is your boy, That Black Oni, signing out in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, all the way down to the ceiling. I'm on the ceiling. Just the mic and I'm sitting. Yeah, all the way down to the ceiling. All the way down to the ceiling.
Mankind found a way to travel across the water. Stop.
This bitch, I'm a
Mankind found a way to build a skyscraper. Stop.
Oh, I never heard of ya.
Mankind found a way to build an elevator. Stop.
This bitch, I'm
Man gonna find a way to go interstellar. Stop.
This bitch, I'm a
Progress moving forward. People out here paying for it. Mankind set a goal. People always working towards it. Every day we hitting the rock, busting our asses, trying to see